Hi everyone, welcome to Sridhar's newsletter called sridhargaripati.substack.com, and our podcast name is Minimalist Techie. I appreciate you being here so we can connect weekly on interesting topics. And please subscribe to Minimalist Techie on Apple Podcast or the Spotify, or you can just subscribe the newsletter. You can just have to submit your email ID so that you can you'll be getting the email every weekly one so that you can get the podcast or the articles what I'm currently writing so that you can directly get into your inbox. And our show is Minimalist Techie, and you can find it on Apple and the Spotify podcast, or you can always hear it over an email you receive through my subscription on my website. So this weekly newsletter is mostly about the article, books, videos, etc. what I read or watch, or my views on different topics which revolves around my head during the week. Now let us dive into this week's read. So this week, majorly, my mind was especially going around when suddenly on Friday, when I was out for my son's birthday, yes, July 21st was my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Wade. This is your fourth birthday. So just congratulations, wishing you happy birthday and happy fourth birthday. Yeah, happy fourth. So in the morning when we were actually went to temple and suddenly we got a text for a few friends saying that uh, India has banned the rice export for Sona Masuri rice, and mostly South Indians should be eating the Sona Masuri rice. So only that Sona Masuri was having being banned, but when we said, okay, we are just 1 mile away, someone told me, okay, can you just pick one or two bags for me? I said, okay, I'm just 1 mile away. I'm a little bit due to my from my vacation. Just go back and get into the store and pick something. And then maybe I bought two bags for myself and two bags for my friend. And then, but I stood there for a couple of minutes. I was literally shocked that within a few seconds I was standing there. Many were actually completed their entire stock got completed. Yeah. So let's get into the topic actually. Basically what happened was India has banned the rice export, and it suddenly started creating the people buying in very panic mode. So in the recent last 4 to 5 business days, you can see that there has been lot of surge in the panic buying of rice in abroad, especially. And I'm in US, so mostly in US, all the Costco stores or the Indian grocery stores, Korean stores who sell good number of rice bags, currently they are fully out of stock, and few have rice prices as well. So this has led to a sharp increase in prices and the shortage of the basic food in most of the most of the US in the US for sure. Most of the cities where the Indians are densely populated, definitely in those stores currently, this item has not been found. This is like in the 2020 COVID year when it got started, suddenly the toilet paper was out of stock for a few weeks, right? The same thing right now. This is the Indian version of that COVID 2020. Right now, instead of the toilet paper, and currently the rice bag is having supply and demand issues right now. See, so when I was seeing a lot of people, I took a couple of videos, did some small thing on Instagram video as well. You guys can check it out on my name, Sridhar Gargipati. But thought me at least like I was also thinking like, oh my God, people so educated are also behaving like this. This is not like we are having a Ukraine war. Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So think of you guys are sitting at home, chilling out, and still this type of panic buying that actually says the a person mentality, right? How exactly different people are. So there are a number of reasons for this panic buying, which is going on. Let's say pretty good points first. What is the underlying issue and all that? Then we can deep dive into this mindset of panic buying. Yeah, that's the one which actually decided me to just talk through on this topic today. So, number of reasons for panic buying. I would say one is the ongoing war in Ukraine, and which has disrupted global food supplies. Right? So we all know, like Russia and Ukraine have been in a war since a year now. Russia and Ukraine are the major exporters of wheat and other grains. So wheat we have already seen here and there, stock not being available, or sometimes the price is little higher. Instead of 9.99, it's 11.99, 12.99, 14.99, right? So we have seen small increase in prices also. So the war has caused prices of those wheat and other grains, right? So this has raised a concern about a food security in India as well, which is a major importer of wheat. Yeah. Another main reason which was declared by the government of India is currently India is having a recent heat wave, and the heat wave has damaged crops and reduced very high number of yields, which has further raised concern about the food availability. The panic buying is also being driven by social media rumors and misinformation. Right? Yes. See, when in the news when it came to that India is banning, suddenly people went to store and within 30 minutes the stock was completely out of stock right now. Right? Which means few people have like buying like 10 bags, 12 bags. You guys are literally idiots because are you going to eat that stuff continuously on a day-to-day basis? Are you going to sit in a bunker? That's why you need a 10 bags? Yeah, that's really idiotic, right? So yeah, we'll talk about the mindset for sure. So the panic buying is basically driven by the social media rumors and the misinformation. Some people have been spreading rumors that there is a shortage of rice in India, which has led to even more people rushing to buy rice, right? That's not true statement. Just when the news article came, suddenly you came to the shop and within 3 days the stock was out of stock. Uh, do you think that once the stock is finished in one day, then again other ship would be coming? No, even in every retailer would be having in the warehouse at least for 2 months stock, 3 months stock. This is not a produce, right? Which would be simply get wasted after 1 week. This is rice can stay in warehouse for pretty long time. So there is still a lot of stock sitting in the warehouses. It's just that they won't be filling every day. Some retailers start filling stock in their stock in the beginning of the day, and unless the next day morning another stock is coming, they are not going to fill it up, right? So don't get into a mode that there is no stock anywhere. Stock is for sure is available in their warehouses. It's just that now we are given a news to the retailer actually. So the panic buying is having a lot of negative consequences, I would say. One thing is it is going to drive up prices. It has already driving up prices. Already inflation ran too hot. The June inflation was said to be down. It was said to be cooling off. US, it was said that we might be having a very soft recession. We might not be getting into recession at all, right? But still, if you see your monthly bills are not coming down, your rental is not coming down, your car expense is not getting down, your main key expenses, your restaurant bills are not coming down, right? If you just see many of the key items which are main as part of your paycheck, if you see them, what all goes out from your paycheck? Home rent, your gas prices, electricity prices, car maintenance, your groceries, and your groceries, restaurant, eating out in the restaurants over the weekends or something like that. So if you can clearly see, none of these prices are coming down. The reason is retailers are not fool like you, right? If the stock is pretty good, many people are buying, they'll make sure that the price would be getting increased, right? Even the inflation is going to get down, they are not going to decrease the prices for you, right? A huge just the people are just fooling themselves that uh, Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about a little bit more. So basically, it is this type of behavior, panic buying, is actually making rice less affordable for many people because the prices are going to increase from 14.99 to 20.25. Also, it was there. If you check out your community text messages, right, Facebook groups, you can clearly see that already people are posting the increased prices. So now once the retailers start making the price increase, they are not going to come back so soon. We have seen a number of examples as well. So the government has to take some steps here in order to address the panic buying. The government can do something, but for sure I would like to, let's say the government, talk about what government can do at a high level, but I would say this is more depends upon how an individual is making their everyday decisions, right? That's most important thing. One guy craziness will have other person behave also like a crazy. That's what we are clearly seeing right now. The government has to take some steps in order to address the panic buying. Either they have to increase imports of rice, wheat, and release the stocks from the government warehouses. Even government have been doing that. However, these measures are not enough to stop the panic buying. See, the government needs to take steps little further to address this panic buying. It needs to provide accurate information about the food availability and the prices from the government warehouses or from the big retailers, right? So that the misinformation is not happening. Clear cut information has to get be shared on a day-to-day basis so that misinformation is not spreading around. It also needs to crack down, right? As a law officers has to crack down on the social media rumors so that the misinformation is not spreading. See, the government does not take the action, the panic buying could lead into the serious food shortages in India, right? A lot of stock issues are going up, supply demand issues, even tomorrow is going to be resolved if no one at a higher level is not taking control of it, or more of an individual. If at all you, if say if you are buying 10 bags, you'll tell to your neighbor, they'll also do the same thing. That guy, human psychology basically, right? So you acted with craziness, same thing you'll have to someone else. There will be only very few people mature enough to say, shut up, Jess, nothing will happen. You can, okay, it's good. I'm going to stop eating rice. Good that is happening. Let's start quinoa from the going forward. Yeah? Let's start brown rice someone else making. Let's start jasmine rice and I enjoy it, right? Or else let's start make wheat rotis a lot, right? Or go past that. Or eat local. Or right, being in America, why the hell you need to keep on buying your Sona Masuri rice, your Sona Masuri, your produce? I understand right now import export is making those things available, but just think about, yeah, I don't know, I will not go there, maybe I'll get many people get offended. So let's stick to our topic. See, I'm really concerned about the potential for the price inflation due to the panic buying. See, when the demand for the product increases sharply, it can lead to shortages, right, which can drive up prices a lot. See, this is what we have seen with the recent panic buying of rice in India. Even if you take just last 3 years of an example, this was the same issue happened in the any of the retail products. A many majority of your retail products with prices got increased, none of them are going to come back. The car prices which went up, the car salesman who had a good margin by selling the car, even the demand and supply issue got resolved. Still, none of those guys are bringing the car prices down because they are used to, the salesperson is used to that particular profit margin. Now they have been asked to maintain that profit margin. Unless by law someone is interfering and controlling the prices, retailer will always make sure the money is happening. Hmm? I'll tell you one joke. Yeah, how greedy the retailers are. You'll see a biggest retailers like Wegman, CVS, these type of guys. When you go purchase something, every end of it, they'll ask you $1 of donation per transaction. Many people will buy it. Many people will donate $1. Many people will skip the donation as well. If you are making so much money in your retail business already, right? You have this much greater footprint in your profits. Can't you make one generous donation per year? Seriously? You have raising the prices in your retail stores at the same time. Now you have donation also from the every panic buyer or whoever is buying from them. See, retailers are likely to be reluctant to bring prices down once the panic buying is is going to stop when the stock is even going to come back. So this is because they have been used to be higher prices and now they are making more profit. See, in addition, they may be worried that if they lower the prices, they will lose the customers to the other retailers who are still charging the higher prices. So, in a nutshell, you will be getting into a deadlock mode. Well, no one else would be reducing the prices. We have seen very clearly in your home rents. We have seen very clearly housing prices. We have seen very clearly in your car rentals. Seen very clearly in your car gas prices, grocery bills, right? And your used car prices, new car prices. Don't know how many examples we have. A retailer is not going to cut a slack to you. Tomorrow, even the issue will get resolved. So only someone at a higher level from law, someone at a governing body, they can play a role in preventing such type of goods inflation by taking certain steps so that they can either increase the supply of the product which is in question, or in this case, rice. So the government could import more rice or release stocks from the government warehouses. So the government can also track down on who is the one holding the stock and leading to the price speculations, right? Which can drive prices a lot. Yeah, I'm not joking. This I was seeing one of my friend forwarded me a photo. American woman is buying 20 rice bags. I mean, someone asked her, "Why are you buying 20 rice bags? This is not something your day-to-day food." She said, no, I'll just sell it for $25 a bag on Amazon or on Craigslist, right? See, that's how, that is how one's craziness will lead into a much more mess. So in the long term, the best way to prevent price inflation is to address the underlying factors which are actually causing it. So in this case, the case of a rice, the government can actually invest in the agricultural research and development to improve crop yields. Our government can also provide a subsidies to the farmers so that they can help them to cope up with the rising cost of inputs such as fertilizers, fuel, any issue like a heat wave issue going on. Government can pitch and help farmers in that area have enough stock. Work with the big retail companies in order to stock up most day-to-day used goods so that in economy is not getting into inflation mode. Economy gets into inflation mode not because your MacBook laptop is going to cost you $5,000 going forward. Okay, right now $2,000 something that's going to cost 4,000. So that's not going that's not going to cause any inflation for us. Inflation causes from your day-to-day expenses perspective, right? How much your grocery bill, your electricity bill, your gas bill, your car gas bill, right? So your home rent. These are the few basic things which you cannot avoid, right? For your day-to-day living. So that's where inflation peaks in. So definitely these type of stuff should be controlled in a pretty good way from a public perspective, from a government perspective, or from a private organization perspective, who should step up themselves, take some bloody ownership while making money out of so many of people, right? There, say it's always a give and take. You are giving me goods, services. I'm paying you money for that. Yeah, so you keep You keep that promise, and I'll make sure the business is happening for you. But you keep your bloody honesty with you, so that you're not just playing. You guys have seen already, right? How the car prices are there, used cars, new cars, how the inflation is still come is down, but your grocery bill is not coming down. I haven't seen any grocery bills coming down lately, right? So it is very important to remain that the price inflation is always a bad thing actually. See, in some cases this can clearly show if the prices are going to so high, it's going to impact economical growth, and especially the case when the inflation is caused by panic buying or any other factors, this can actually lead to the your hard-earned money of the consumers, their day-to-day businesses would get impacted. Yeah, yeah. It's not just a consumer, even like a businesses will also get impacted. What about a small business, a small scale restaurant business owners? That guy is because the prices for foods are going to get increased. That guy is not going to give you your lunch for 10.99. He is going to make the lunch for 15.99, right? You're not going to get it your dinner for 14.99. The dinner is going to be at 25 bucks already, right? Right now, if you say go on a weekends, a meal for a person is costing $25. For a couple, it's $50. That's ridiculous, right? So see, let's talk about the. I think I gave a little bit, a lot of complaints already. So let's talk about my main thing was even educated people are also getting into panic buying, and there might be a number of reasons for this mindset, right? Which even I can understand, everyone can understand, right? But it's better to understand that particular mindset because you need to understand, you need to have a, I think one will have a fear of unknown, like something like when faced with crisis or uncertainty, different people will behave differently, right? People may feel a sense of fear and anxiety. This is what it leads into making impulsive decisions, such as panic buying, right? So it's not just happening in a rise, just happens in your monthly bills as well, right? How you shop on a Friday, how you shop on a weekends, just to please yourself. That would not going to change your Monday to Friday working life, right? You need, yeah. So the fear of that sense of fear or anxiety, that unknown, like something is out there which is unknown to them, causes this type of mindset to be high. Misinformation and false rumors are one more reason. In times of crisis, it is very important that you get your information from valid sources, pretty reliable sources. However, the misinformation and the rumor can spread quickly on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, especially on the entire all the social media platform. This can lead people to believe that there is shortage of essential goods, which can trigger panic buying even when there is not so shortage of the goods. So make sure the information is one more thing which you should get from a valid sources. Social pressures. So when people see others panic buying, they may feel pressure to do the same. This is especially true if they are worried about not being able to find what they need later. A sense of control is needed. So in crisis, people may feel a loss of control. Panic buying can give people a sense of control, even if it is only for a temporary situation. Yeah. That may give you, that's not going to resolve a bigger solution, right? Unless down the line, government is not resolving, government is not helping farmers, bigger organizations are not helping, you are also helping in the economy by not doing panic buying, stuff is not going to get resolved on its own. So it's very important to remember the panic buying is a, or anxiety is a normal human response to crisis. However, it is very important to resist the urge to the panic buying. It's not in the case of rice today, what we are seeing. You should always resist the urge to do anything in your life as a panic buy, right? You should only buy something what you really need for. Don't give a bloody reason for everything. You should only buy something what you really need for. This is where frugal living, even you don't like it, need to have some basic skill set of frugal living. Even if you don't like minimalism, try to get some few basic funda of minimalism. Just at least skim through at a high level, understand what really makes you as a whole. The panic buying will simply make the situation even worse by creating shortages and driving up prices. That's the mindset issue as we understand why someone is doing it, why you doing it, I am doing it, right? So what one can do in order to avoid panic buying? First thing I would say, stay put. Yeah, stay calm. It is very important to stay calm and rational in times of crisis. Panicking will only make the situation even worse. So stay put, stay calm, please. Get your information from a reliable sources. Don't rely on social media or the rumors from your gossip team, your gossiping friends. Get your information from the reliable sources. Government or reputed news organizations, reputed good journalists on this Substack platform. Utilize them in order to get the reliable information. Don't simply go based upon the social media rumor. Yeah, that's what happened on the 21st of July on the Friday afternoon. Plan ahead if you're worried about a shortage of essential goods. You can try to plan ahead. Make a list of things you need to and try to stock upon them before the crisis hits. This is what my wife does. My wife always plans ahead. If currently we are just opening the last rice bag at home, she will make sure that we are buying two rice bags. Today she is opening the last salt box and she'll be updating our notes, and she's saying that next time we'll go to Costco, we have to bring salt, right? So we are, because we want to make sure that we are planning ahead. That's what, right? We are not that type of person like I'm out of toothpaste and suddenly I'm driving out to bring a toothpaste, right? No. Few things which are out of day to day, we always like to plan ahead, have couple of toothbrushes at hand. Like it's not like you're going to keep produce for 6 months, but you can keep uh, toothbrush heads for eight toothbrush heads for more than a year as well, right? So there are certain things you can plan ahead. Rice is also one of it, right? There is no need to have a complete your entire last rice bag and then go out and store and realize something is not available. It can happen on a regular day as well, right? You might be going in the late in the while the store is getting open, and by the time you go in, people have already picked the 100 or 200 bags out there because the store was open since morning 9 a.m. You are going before closing time, right? So it can happen on any regular day, even not just the crisis. So plan ahead. Help others is one more thing which I wanna say. Instead of panic buying, I want us to take a step back and help ourselves and help others. You can help others by donating to the food banks or other organizations that are helping people in need, or at least help others so that the misinformation is not going through. Help others in order to understand the why this panic behavior is happening, why you are reacting to crisis in such a way. Understand the current economy data, get the real data points, right? At least try to help them not get into this crazy panic mode. Yeah, that's all max we can do in order to help each other. Yeah. Well, I'll share one of my rant, which I just posted as a funny video on Instagram. So if just have a look into it. This was just a very funny one. If you feel offended, sorry for that. But I will always say, top comedy or comedy by nature always tells about a harsh reality in the society. So even you get offended, it's always time to step back and hear yourself. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's all from my thing. Let's cut it out. Took almost like a 30 minutes on a small rant. I didn't want to do a podcast, but I thought let's at least at a high level, let's talk about and wanted to pass on to this message. The folks who are reading or the folks who are listening to it, at least the folks in my group, at least they can stay calm, they can get the information from the reliable sources, they can plan ahead, not just the rice buying, right? Right. You can help others so the misinformation is not going through. Okay? So that is all for this week. That was a rant topic today. Okay, that is all for this week. See you again. Do let me know in comments, or you can always reply to me on my email if you subscribe to the newsletter, or you can add a comment to the Substack post or on my Twitter or Facebook or Instagram accounts. And so, what is your view on the pod? And so, to end, so share, like, subscribe, whatever these days it says. Stay connected, share ideas, spread happiness. Bye bye.